Hi guys, this is Kristen Martinez, and today I want to talk about a couple of things. The first thing that I want to talk about or mention is what is the cognitive triangle? And a lot of therapists and an entire theory of therapy is based on this idea of something called the cognitive triangle, which is the connection between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And the idea underneath that is if we can change one of those three ideas, we change the entire like they're so interconnected that if we change one of them, the other two must therefore change. And so today I want to go through a visual that goes, that shows you what the cognitive triangle looks like. And then I want to talk about how the idea of metacognition is also based in the cognitive triangle. First, what is metacognition? And it's a more, I don't want to say difficult. It's not really difficult to understand, but difficult because not everybody actually has the natural ability to do this. Some people, depending on the culture in which they were born or the society, metacognition, it might not be something that the brain does right away. So sometimes it's a great skill to have, and it's a very logical kind of skill, and it's an idea of consciousness. So anyways, I'm getting too heady. So metacognition is the idea that you can think about what you're thinking about. So for example, if today I'm thinking about, I would really like to have a piece of cake, and I spent like hours thinking about eating this piece of cake. The piece of metacognition would be I then start to think about why I was thinking for so long about this cake. So now we've entered into the next level of cognition. So you have your primary level, which is the actual thinking about the cake. And then we have the next level of cognition, which now we're entering metacognition, which is thinking about the cake. Now, let's say you can enter in various levels from then on, thinking about the cake, thinking about the cake, thinking about a thought that was developed while you were thinking about the cake. So this can go on for a long, like we can have so many levels of metacognition, which is cool, right? Because it's also, if you think about philosophy, this is what philosophy is based in, pretty much, is this idea of metacognition. It's taking one thought and then thinking about that thought and then thinking about that thought, and then how all of these thoughts were based in the original thought. Now, the reason this is important is because while we're in the phases of metacognition, we can actually begin to transform our thought process. And so if you think about the triangle, which I'm going to show right now, I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to show the triangle, and then start to look at how can we start to replace a thought. And being in metacognition, which is thinking about the thought that I just had, is what's needed in order to have this transformative experience through the cognitive triangle and through cognitive behavioral therapy. That's really important as therapists to know and to understand, and for you, anybody watching, to understand, is that not everybody does this naturally. And so sometimes before jumping into the intervention that I'm also going to show you, there has to be a lot of work around thinking about things. So sometimes initially therapy might look very focused on building up the muscle of which metacognition is focused in. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So here we have a beautiful whiteboard. Hold on. I want to make it bigger. Okay, so here's the whiteboard. We are going to look. Here you go. Here it is. It's a triangle. That's the first piece of it. Okay, it's a poorly drawn triangle, but it's a triangle nonetheless. One, you have over here, you're going to have your thoughts. I'm not too bad at this. Okay, and then you've got arrows, the idea that these things are constantly influencing each other. Then you've got your feelings. Ooh, check me out. And then also constantly and in constant influence on the other two. And the last piece is a behavior. I need sound effects for the arrows. Okay, then so you start with thought number one. So we'll go 1. Today I am going to say, I like cake. Awesome. Number 2, what do I feel about liking cake? I'm going to say that I feel, let's go a little crazy. I feel disgusted that I like cake. You know, this is diet culture, right? A lot of us, because we feel a lot of guilt around liking tasty things, we often feel this about ourselves. So I feel disgusted. So what's my behavior? I like cake. I'm also disgusted by the fact that I like cake. And my behavior is that, let's say I run a mile after eating cake. Okay, now this is our level 1 thinking. I like cake. Cake also makes me feel disgusted. I'm disgusted at the fact that I like cake and eat cake. And then my behavior is that I'm running a mile, right, after eating the cake because I'm disgusted. Now, there's cognitive behavioral therapy is on the principle that you could change technically any of these 3 things and you'll change the entire system of the thought. So you can stop running the mile and then somehow something will change. You can try and change the feeling, which is extremely difficult. And the third piece is you can go for the easy point of access, which is your thoughts. Because we have the ability of metacognition, we have more ability and power to change a thought than we have over changing a feeling or a behavior. Not to say that behaviors or feelings can't be changed. They're just very, very hard to be changed on their own. So I want to give an example of maybe level 2. Now you're thinking about the thought about thinking. Okay, so I'm thinking about liking cake. My thought is, it's okay to like cake. My feeling is relief. My behavior is eating some damn cake. I'm just saying, like, eat the cake. It's good. See that? Okay. So we can keep going on this and create a whole thought, a chain of how we can change thoughts into better and better thoughts. And you never want to go from like a bad thought, an unhelpful thought into a best thought, because that's not believable. Your brain is going to be like, that's a crock of shit. Like, I'm not going to go from I like cake and I'm disgusted by it to cake makes is healthy. Like, cake is a regular kind of food. Like, your brain's going to reject it and it'll still result in the same behavior. So you have to start small. It's just like, it's dosing. So you want to go from I like cake and it makes me feel disgusted to like, okay, it's okay to like cake. Because now I'm thinking about why that thought feeling even connected with each other. And I realize while I'm thinking about it that, you know, some bad things happened growing up. I got maybe not me, but you probably might have gotten bullied or teased for your weight or having liked cake, and so it resulted in being disgusted, right? And so you develop that, and so then your restorative, your repairing thoughts are like, it's okay to like cake. That's believable. Okay, it could be okay to like cake. Other people like cake. It's okay. And then you actually could eat the cake, hopefully without the shame and the guilt and the disgust that previously came from it. That's a very basic idea of the thought replacement strategy, and beginning to alter the schemas of our thought processes. So that's what I wanted to share today. So again, if you have any take homes for this, the connection between your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, again, they're interrelated to each other and they're influencing each other at all times. So if you engage in like exercise and it makes you feel happy, then your thoughts are going to be about exercise is good. Okay? So no matter what leg of this triangle you're looking at, you're going to find that that leg is connected at all times to thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And that the second take home is that if you really want to alter behavior, is to go for the easy target of altering the thoughts that you have, and go for making it a little bit better of a thought, not the best thought. Okay, I'm going to stop my screen share here. And I hope that this was something that you can use. I hope that this video, if you're a therapist, is something that you can use to show clients psychoeducation, or you can use for yourself in developing some skills or more skills. This was Kristen Martinez. Feel free, you guys can leave me a comment, you guys can reach out to me, any of those things, and I would be happy to answer. So great, have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye.